see it there, so that kettle was duly boiled.
Thank you. The second frame, Kyren Wilson to break.
Yes, times have changed since snooker players used to have full pints of beer and other alcoholic drinks by their table. Now it's water, hot or cold. Nothing stronger than that.
So Kyren Wilson has to keep his safety play very tight against O'Sullivan. Of course, that applies to all the leading players, but they'll give it lots of care and attention. He's looking at when he chips into the bunch here, whether he'll knock anything near a pocket. He can get in behind the brown if he hits it right. Just got a little bit too thick, and he's left something. So that wasn't a good one there, actually. Now, the early signs are not great for O'Sullivan, actually. It is early days, but he hasn't shown any real sparkle yet.
Yeah, Wilson, I'm sure, will be determined not to hand O'Sullivan an easy starter and allow him to get his hand on the table and start racking up the breaks. Wants to get him under early pressure. That was the issue in the previous round. Zhang Yi, very inexperienced wildcard, was taking everything on and wasn't getting much, frankly. So he was letting O'Sullivan in every single frame. As you can see here, he's snookered on all but one of the reds. And the danger, of course, is they're all out in the open, so he's got to be very careful here.
Yeah, it's not easy to get a safety shot from the red he can hit, is it, really? When you see this situation, it's almost like he's better off playing out of a snooker. I don't think he can get back up the table from this. Well, that was never going to work. He's been incredibly fortunate there. He really has. Didn't see him put his hand up, but I tell you, he has had a right result. If he hadn't got the double kiss, he'd have left the bottom red. And with the double kiss, he could leave about 8, but he's got out. Well, I don't know what he played there. I really don't know what he played. I mean, did he play to hit it thick and leave the cue at this end of the table, or thin? If he played it thin, he's hit it about half ball.
One. Yellow.
Perfect, really well played.
3.
Couldn't have put the cue ball better with his hand to where he's finished on the red. And sometimes those screw shots can be quite difficult to judge.
4.
These quick tables, you can overscrew if you're not careful. So he's in again, and if he could do damage here and score, I mean, the black is available, so if he could get in and keeping O'Sullivan unsettled and in his chair and devoid of any rhythm, that's what he needs to do.
Yes, because he will have picked up on the fact that O'Sullivan at the moment isn't quite at the races. He's had quite a bit of snooker actually of late, Wilson. He got to the final of the Paul Hunter Classic. Of course, he won it last year as a ranking event. It's an invitation event this year. Lost out 4-3 to Barry Hawkins, and then last week played in the Six Reds World Championship in Thailand. He got to the last 16 there.
Ten.
Very strange noise there. I'm not quite sure what that was.
Sounded a bit like a walkie-talkie, didn't it? Like crackling or something. But he's on the pink in the middle anyway, although I believe he would have played on the black. Could be that he played the cannon on that red. Anyway, he's okay. Kyren will not be rushed. He's
16.
taken as much time as he needs on these shots, and rightly so. I think you're always told as a young player is,
17.
while you're at the table, you are in charge. And of course, we know that's true, but it's never easy, really. If you're playing someone like Ronnie O'Sullivan, he's sitting there, even just his presence can be a bit unnerving sometimes.
It's a very competitive match they had here in Shanghai last year in the semi-finals, so it was best of 19. And it was nip and tuck to 6 each. But then
24.
O'Sullivan just finished the stronger. Had a couple of 80 breaks on the way to winning 10-6, but Wilson matched him up to that point. Of course, it was a different story at that English Open final 2 years ago in Barnsley, where O'Sullivan won 9-2. Just an extraordinary display. I think he missed 5 balls in the whole match.
25.
Yes, he got better and better, didn't he? I think you and I were on commentary for the evening session. It was just ridiculous how well O'Sullivan played in those frames that won in the match. But out of his skin.
$32. $33.
Well, he's not quite right on this. The missable shot this into the corner.
$38. 39.
Well, all week we were talking about potential for a Judd Trump-Ronnie O'Sullivan final, but Trump was well beaten earlier today by Mark Allen, and O'Sullivan looks like he's about to go 2-0 down to Kyren Wilson.
45.
Yes, and of course we know that they are the two players that a lot of people would like to have seen in the final, but in a field like this, all the very best players are here. It's a question of whose form is the best on the week, and there were literally 8 or 9, maybe 10 players coming into it who could win. This man is one of them.
Yeah, and his safety's been good so far. You know,
51.
Sullivan's not really had a really easy chance yet. Every time he's come to the table, he seemed to be in a bit of trouble.
I think you do well to come across a player on the tour who tries harder at the table than Kyren Wilson. Of course, they're all trying, but
58.
sometimes you get that real sense of it when you're watching Kyren Wilson. And a lot of that comes from someone who I know that
59.
he grew up practicing with and admiring from the same neck of the woods, Peter Ebdon, one of the game's real grafters, former world champion, of course. So, one more red and it will be 2-0 Boeing snookers. Don't think he's going to get the
66.
snookers, or the chance to get them anyway.
Well, it's been a textbook frame from Kyren Wilson. You know, he played the good safety to earn the opening, and he's made the most of the opening with a frame-winning break. Very impressive start. O'Sullivan has been kept cold.
72. 73. 80. 81.
Oh, how about that little nudge? He
80.
deserved it, because he did play it well to get the cue ball round through bulk.
89.
Yeah, it was an odd safety shot that O'Sullivan played, actually. Where I still don't really know whether he tried to hit the red full ball or very thin. He kind of hit it half ball. And the cue ball didn't even get much past the pink
96.
spot, never mind up the table. So reserve judgment on what shot he did play. All I know is it wasn't what he got.
97.
Well, this is a very impressive contribution. Wilson looks bang up for it today. He's taking the game to Ronnie O'Sullivan. And he's made a century here in the second frame.
104. 106.
Well, a long way to go, but he's given O'Sullivan something to think about. And if O'Sullivan does get a clear-cut chance in the next frame, he knows he's going to have to take it, because Wilson, he's looking in a mean mood here.
109. $113.
Well, the cue ball's going all over the shop, but he keeps potting balls. This is the best of the lot if this goes in. Wow, what a fantastic pot. I know that at the end of a frame, when the frame is won, it doesn't count for much, but it's still nice to see.
118.
Great pot. Well, this is very confident stuff, and the first frame was good, the way he kept Ronnie O'Sullivan quiet, but this frame has been different altogether. It's a fantastic break, this. Wonderful.
Yeah, superb from Kyren Wilson. A total clearance of 131. Some great potting towards the end.